In 1978, San Francisco police received an anonymous letter describing 7 murders in meticulous detail. The sender signed as Zodiac. The problem: those crimes hadn't happened yet. 3 years later, every word of that letter became reality. How does someone predict crimes they haven't committed yet? Stay with me, because this story challenges everything you think you know about criminal investigation. The late 1970s marked a turbulent period for California authorities. Several unsolved cases were piling up in police stations. Among routine correspondence received by the police, a peculiar envelope stood out. Common paper, uniform handwriting, no identifiable fingerprints. The content described exact locations, specific methods, details that normally only investigators would know. 7 victims named by initials, approximate dates provided. The department initially treated it as an elaborate hoax. They filed the document in a folder of suspicious correspondence. Nobody imagined the real gravity of that communication. The events materialize. The first incident occurred 18 months after the letter. The victim corresponded exactly to the description provided. The location matched perfectly. The method used was identical to what was described in the archived document. Investigators retrieved the original letter. Meticulous comparison revealed frightening correspondence. The second crime happened 6 months later. Again, details matched precisely with predictions written years before. A special task force was assembled. Experts analyzed paper, ink, linguistic patterns. Forensic psychologists created a behavioral profile of the author. Graphologists studied every trace of the handwritten script. The third, fourth, and fifth crimes followed the almost exact timeline described in the original correspondence. Panic set in among authorities. How to intercept apparently predestined events. How to protect potential victims when information remained enigmatic. Investigative analysis theories multiplied among specialists. The first hypothesis suggested extremely detailed planning. The criminal would have mapped out the entire sequence years in advance, creating a meticulous timeline for execution. The second theory proposed multiple involvement, perhaps a coordinated criminal organization, with different executors following a pre-established script. This would explain the temporal and methodological precision observed. The third, more disturbing possibility: the author possessed inside knowledge about police investigations, perhaps privileged access to confidential information, allowing anticipation of authorities' movements. Forensic linguists identified unusual vocabulary patterns. Sentence structure suggested higher formal education. Technical knowledge demonstrated in the descriptions indicated familiarity with medical or investigative procedures. Psychological analysis revealed a methodically organized profile, with pathological need for control and recognition. Sending the letter represented not just a warning, but a demonstration of intellectual superiority over the legal system. Consequences and legacy. The sixth crime never occurred as predicted. The potential victim had moved to another city months before. Coincidence or intervention saved a human life. The seventh event on the list also didn't materialize as described. Correspondence ceased abruptly. No additional communication was received. The case remained technically open for decades, gradually cooling as other priorities emerged. Forensic DNA didn't exist adequately in that period. Limited physical evidence deteriorated over time. Witnesses forgot crucial details. Leads progressively went cold. In subsequent decades, development of new investigative technologies allowed reanalysis of preserved evidence. Expanded genetic databases offered possibilities non-existent in the 70s. However, the case never received definitive official resolution. This event profoundly influenced modern police protocols. Today, any specific threat receives immediate coordinated response. Computerized predictive systems analyze communication patterns, searching for real risk indicators. Contemporary lessons. Modern criminology extensively studies unsolved historical cases. Investigative methodologies have evolved dramatically since that period. Interagency collaboration became standard protocol. For complex threats, Criminal psychology developed more sophisticated understanding about motivations behind pre-crime communications. Pathological narcissism frequently drives criminals to seek public recognition before actions. Technology completely transformed the investigative landscape. Digital communication analysis, coordinated electronic surveillance, nationally integrated databases, tools unimaginable to investigators of that period. However, the human element remains crucial. Experienced intuition of veteran detectives, contextual understanding of local communities, ability to establish non-obvious connections between fragmented information. Prevention became the primary focus, not just reactive response, early identification of problematic behavioral patterns, intervention before violent escalation, integrated community support. This story reminds us that real mysteries frequently surpass any fiction. It demonstrates the importance of taking threats seriously, regardless of how improbable they may initially seem. Constant evolution of investigative methods remains essential for collective security. If this content added knowledge about criminology and investigative history, consider subscribing to the channel. Leave a comment sharing your perspective on this intriguing case. The next video will explore another fascinating mystery from criminal history. Thank you for your attention until here.
It's exactly where he said it would be.
Which means he planned the rest too.